Welcome to the Unspeakable Oath, starring our good friend Daniel Chesterfield, or what's left of him.
He's not our friend.
He is now.
No, that one's not.
This one's not. No, the other one can be.
This one can be.
So
this one is kind of really cool. So you go into...
I think this one's a high point for me in this area, or this campaign.
Why did I put this away? This is very important.
I don't know. I think you need the keyboard. Yeah.
But yeah, this one you go into the asylum, and then you have to talk to Daniel, and everyone's kind of against you. The orderlies are trying to, you can't just walk around and do whatever you want in our asylum, even if you work here. And the inmates are crazy and will try to hurt you, and later there's less humanly things that show up.
Yeah.
So
one thing I liked a lot about the Path of Carcosa in these two is that you were in Arkham for a bit, and you got to visit a few of the
classic
areas.
locations.
Yeah. And I hope they do more of that.
Yep.
Right. And what's really cool about this one that really hits on the thematic part is that it has. Correct me if I'm wrong, and I would hate to be embarrassed because I'd be wrong because it's my whole point here. That it starts normal. You're walking through the asylum. Then the first agenda passes. Then you add the lunatics into play, right?
Yes.
You shuffle them into the deck because then they start getting angry that you're there, and then when it all goes to shit, monsters start showing up.
Yep.
Right, which is kind of really cool. It's a build. This one actually, as opposed to the last one we did, Echoes of the Past, where it starts with an explosion, goes down. This one literally just keeps going up. Mm-hmm. As you go through, you find stuff. There's a lot of tough cards too. This one's just annoying. The straitjacket, where you lose your hand slots. And you have to put the straitjacket on.
Sometimes the straitjacket can be very beneficial. Perhaps you were carrying a gun and used it to shoot a lot of other inmates, and then the orderlies put you in a straitjacket, but thoughtfully reload your gun for you.
So it can there's a beneficial side, but there's also and it doesn't remove them. It puts them in your hand.
Puts them back in your hand.
It's basically removing 2 actions, removing another 2 actions to play it. And then also all those resources to play them, right?
No, possibly more if you have a body slot item.
Yes.
It's generally a tempo negative card, but
I think this still takes up the body slot. Yeah, it's hands. Yeah, hands and body. So
yeah, so encounters are like this one. You also get the new Gift of Madness, I think it's called.
Yeah, the Gift of Madness.
Yeah, that makes you can't hit lunatics, which was a lot of fun for us. And I enjoyed that, even if it was strictly detrimental.
That one can be it works really well.
Yeah.
But it's also incredibly it's very difficult because unless someone deals with it, you're down 1 person, right?
Mm-hmm. Unless the person who's holding it is not the person you are planning on using to punch lunatics.
It is true, but there was I think in that case you had shriveling out, and you could have done things, but you couldn't.
Yeah.
Right?
But still, I kept it. I was it's way better for me to have this, neither of you guys.
That's true. And the other one makes it so that you can't do the secondary objective, which we'll get to in a second. And then there's a few other cool things.
It also makes so you can't Oh, it's not on locations. Never mind.
Yeah. There is this walls closing in, where if you're basically going crazy because you're in the insane asylum, and then if you go crazy, you can add monsters to the monster deck, which shows up in Act 3.
Yeah.
Most of the patients that you run into they're just
guys.
They're just annoying. They're not necessarily
they're
detrimental.
Insane and they'll try to claw your face off, but no real problem.
One thing I like is that you slowly piece everything together. You explore the asylum. Certain parts are lit off. Then you have to get the key. There is one choice on the key that you don't want to do.
Yeah, don't do that.
Because it'll make you automatically lose, right?
Yes.
Yeah, if you just force it from her.
I don't think it makes you automatically lose, but it's bad.
Because there's the choice to take you can steal the key from her, distract her. Yeah, there's all these choices, and one is just push her over and
beat her up and take it. Yeah.
And it's on the resolution of one of these.
Is it?
Yeah. So if you took the keys by force, you go to R2.
Oh, okay.
And what's resolution 2 do? Because it says they are quickly restrain them.
Oh, you get attacked as you leave. You take a physical trauma each. So it's not it's not
it balances out.
Yeah.
But it's the choice you don't want to make.
Yeah.
Another thing that's cool is that this one has a player elimination if you go insane in the insane asylum.
Die in the asylum.
Or die. Yeah,
Is
your
it
investigator gets killed.
Yeah, then you're locked in the asylum for the rest of the campaign, and you got to play somebody else.
And this one's tough, and it actually could lead to that, especially because like there's just this big Papa.
Yeah, it turns out he hits harder than Yog Sothoth.
Yeah.
Like
This guy hits pretty good too.
Yeah, and the Beast of Aldebaran can also show up to just preview what's to come.
I mean, like Yog Sothoth will just like melt your brain.
oh yeah, Yog Sothoth's just like, hey, so
You didn't need to think, did you?
you didn't need to think about things, did you? This guy's just like, hey, you didn't need those arms or anything, or like I'll kill you.
And like
The Beast of Aldebaran looks a lot scarier than he is, and you'll have lots of opportunities to see him.
Yeah. Sorry, so he doesn't actually hit harder than Yog Sothoth. Yog
But,
Sothoth does more brain damage, but he has more symbols on him for damage.
Yes.
He does more total damage, whereas Yog Sothoth does one specialized kind of damage.
And like this guy can just show up right where you need to go. And like that's what makes this such an exciting one, is that there's a pressure to it. And our first playthrough of it, I feel like we actually kind of like luck sacked our way in.
Oh yeah,
Because there's various side objectives you need to do.
Yeah.
Kind of like a prison breakout. And we thought, these got to be here for a reason. Let's just do them.
we just ended up with actually everything we needed before the game said you need this.
Yeah.
And then the game was like, you have to have done these. I was like, cool, we'll just leave.
And then our second
Good.
playthrough,
We're out.
our second playthrough, we actually knew what was coming and we did worse, which to me is a sign of a good scenario, because you can things are unexpected and things can go wrong.
Part of that is like the character I was playing. She doesn't really like do things. She's a really good support, but she doesn't like
she
do
keeps
things.
the other characters you're playing in the game a whole lot longer.
Yeah.
And like, viably so.
Yeah, Carolyn Fern would recommend it as investigator number 4, but not number 3. Definitely not number 2.
Number 3, like, I mean, this one went a whole lot better than last time.
Yeah, I'm speaking in general, like not for this.
Yeah.
This campaign is a little exceptional because there's a lot of brain damage.
Yeah. We had a pretty solid team for it too. So.
Yeah.
What do you guys think of the theme? Does the theme resonate going through?
Man, this one's like a 4.5 or 5 for theme for me. This one's like
I would agree,
quality.
because it also kind of like it goes with the thing that the guy, the game designer for this one wrote at the end, where he wants you to kind of doubt if you're going crazy. Is it just you being longer in this asylum that's making these monsters show up? Right?
You know, we just run into the asylum and start like yelling at people.
Like, yeah, so like to me, like this is probably the best thematic one.
Yeah,
except for like, I also like the Catacombs one.
Yeah.
But I think I'd go with 4.5 or 5 as well.
Yeah.
No, like theme wise, I don't think this one actually has any flaws.
No.
No, I would be okay giving this one a 5. I think the only one that I feel is thematically better, like overall, is like maybe the train one.
We give that one a 5, I think.
Because like that's exactly what's happening.
Is this one fun?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think also this one.
I give this one like a 3.5, 4.
Yeah, I'd give it a 4. I like it. I really like it. And like, I also liked it for my second playthrough because it was fun in a stressful way. And also the first time you're like, look at this prison break, this stuff we're going to do. Let's do it. It's kind of exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah, like there's challenges that don't feel overwhelming and like they're rewarding to accomplish. And you get to, like, a big part of it is you get to see the story and the scenario develop.
What are your thoughts, Bryn?
Yeah, I'd probably score this one at about a 4 as well.
Cool, 3 4s. That's easy. We did it as a team.
Yeah, like this one isn't like, man, I'd play this one over and over again if I could, but like it's good.
Yeah.
I'd like look forward to playing it.
Yeah.
Difficulty?
Difficulty.
I'd give this one a 3.
Yeah, I'd give it maybe like a 3.5. Like it does have like the possible permadeath of one of your characters, making the rest of the campaign incredibly more difficult because it comes right after the scenario where it's like, how much experience do you want?
Yeah, it's true.
Right,
and so there's also the aspect that I think is very. It's not necessarily a point to increase the difficulty, but the monster deck will make players make choices to not put monsters in, which actually might not even be a thing to show up. So I feel like there's a design that the monster deck is scary enough that players will actively make the worst choice.
Oh yeah.
To avoid having a monster possibly
I definitely did that
up.
a couple times when we did it.
So like I think that's like a very interesting design that makes it more difficult just in the psyche of the players.
Like I don't ever want to fight against the Beast of Aldebaran if I can avoid it. But you know.
Or like those Asylum Gorges pretty bad.
Yeah, these things are like
they hit really hard, and it doesn't matter what kind of character build you're on; they'll kill you really quickly.
Like Spawn of Halley is like the soft monster for that deck, and even that thing's like it's kind of scary.
Spawn of Halley is a little bitch. I've killed 2 of them in one turn.
It's pretty scary at this point in the scenario, or at this point in the campaign.
3.5 is what we said.
Yeah.
Yeah. Overall, what do we think about this one?
It's also pretty difficult your first playthrough through because if you don't know, if you weren't like us, we're like, we should probably just do these rando things. If you got to the end, you're like, we need to do all of them.
Yeah, there's also like
you don't have to do all. You just like there's like 6.
You have to do like
and you have to
do
do
4 of them. Yeah,
4 or 5, I think it is.
It's you have to do like you have to have 4 of them done.
Yeah.
And I think there's 5 or 6 of them. There's
I
at
think
least
it's 5.
one you don't have to do.
Yeah, let's see how many there are. So there's know the guards patrol, released a dangerous patient, recalled the way out.
Right, you just look at the end of the back page.
So set a fire in the kitchen, incited a fight, and there's 6. There's
6?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And there's like two of them you don't have to do, so you should be able to make it work no matter what.
Yeah, because especially because half of them are in the basement where you have to spend clues to go in.
Yep.
Another thing that is really what's going to make it difficult for people is you feel like it's going to end when you get Daniel, or when you get to Daniel's room.
But it doesn't.
But then it's like, oh wait, we're in the asylum, we got to get out of here.
Yeah.
And also, if you get the thing where you have to escort Daniel out, it's also tough because he has the whole. When you take horror, you have to at least you either have to put horror on him or deal him damage.
If you've got Carolyn Fern, no problem.
Yes, it's true.
But also like didn't encounter.
There's also like a pretty niche.
Yeah, or like incredibly niche scenario.
So overall, what do we think of this one?
4.
4?
It's not perfect, but it's getting pretty close.
I would say that as well.
Yeah, I think that's pretty reasonable.
Yeah, this one's very good.
Yes.
This one reminds me of the one in Dunwich where there's the altar that you need to find. And there's people.
Blood on the altar.
Yeah, blood on the altar. It feels very...
No, I think this is definitely a high point in the campaign, if not the high point.
Yeah.
I really like the last one.
Yes, I really like the last one too, but we'll cross that bridge.
I also
when we
want
get
to
there.
talk real quick about the encounter deck for this one. It's very well set up in that. I mean, like, the Agents of Haster deck is a little bit off. Like, having the Byakuya show up,
it
you're
needs to
kind
be
of like...
in every one of them, right?
It's not, though.
Oh,
it's
yeah,
the first
that's
time
the
it shows
Byakuya
up.
one?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's the Byakuya one.
I thought
And,
it
like,
was this one. I'm mixing
the
it up.
yellow sign one. And then, like, you have the... I mean, they're mostly there to be monsters. Right? But, like, you've got the... which one is that? These, like, dance yellow kings with, like, the lunatics. And then you've got just, like, the random cockroaches crawling around from the start, where it feels like... It really makes it really contributes to the feel of this being, like, a dirty, dingy asylum where inmates are treated like garbage.
Yeah. Which has got to be more health conscious, Arkham. What are you doing? What are you
It's
doing?
the 20s. These aren't people.
No, yeah, they're just things you have to put out of sight because you're not allowed to just kill them.
They're job creators. That's
Come
what
on,
they are.
Carolyn. What were you doing?
I wasn't hurting my...
Yeah, remember when Travis was still trying to do his job while we were cutting our way through
Yeah.
He's like, stop!
the
We
asylum?
did kill that
feelings.
lunatic. I was like, no. You're like, ah.
Cool, yeah, no, this one's very good. And it's challenging, it's good, and the ending's great. There's also an interlude at the end? Or is
Yeah,
that,
Lost Soul. This one is based off of what happens to Daniel. And he just asks you basically the option to whether you want to heed the oath or hear his warning.
Yes,
or not.
this is very important. I can't believe I almost missed this. This is crucial.
I thought it was part of the beginning of the next one, but like...
Nah.
So what happens if you don't heed his warning because we've never... I mean, no, if you do heed his warning because we've never done that
No,
one.
We always heed
do.
his warning.
Okay, so
we
yeah.
always heed the warning.
If you ignore the warning, you ignored his warning, and you mark 2 doubt.
Sick. And that's it.
Yeah,
so
if
the
you
other
heed
one...
his warning, you get 2 conviction, you get an additional experience, and you can't say the thing.
Yeah.
So I feel like if you choose...
So
Yeah. So how this works is if you heed his warning at any point and whenever you play the rest of this campaign, if you from the beginning of setup to the end of a scenario,
Until
if
you
you
start
say
writing the resolution, I think it
if
is.
you say Haster, you take one horror, not direct.
Which
Yeah,
is
it's just
regular.
one word.
Which I feel like as if you take that one as a little star, you should add like 0.5 to each other campaign and difficulty, and then like 1.5 to the final one.
I didn't say Haster unintentionally throughout the entire campaign. I do not understand what your guys' problem with that is, but...
I mean, I imagine it's a lot easier if you're not recording for YouTube and like reading out your actions. And,
Yeah,
like,
you can just be like, well, like I'll evade guy.
Yeah. Or if you're playing, can you imagine? That will have no
If you're
impact
playing,
if you're playing,
if you're
solo,
playing by
just-
yourself, like just I'm never speaking, so
But I think that's a very cool thing, and to do the flavor of it,
yeah.
heed his warning. It's cooler. It'll be more fun.
Yeah, it's
and then you get to come up with cool
And
nicknames.
you get an extra experience. Like, come on.
Yeah, and there's also some cool ways you can abuse that.
Yeah, like Pete Sylvester and the King
No,
of Abuse.
I also like his decision. Like, having read both of them really plays into the idea that you're not actually sure what's going on. Like, he tells you, like, you can't say his name, and you're like, this is garbage. I'll say whatever I want. Like, you doubt him. You're like, this isn't like, but like, you're like, this is like real shit. You're like, I can't say his name, and you're like convicted to like, you're showing conviction that like, this is a real, a real thing. You're not just crazy.
Yeah, you can use it to blow up your own brother Xavier's, to deal damage to enemies on your location.
You can put
points on your key of yes if you're that kind of garbage.
And it's the thing that like. By breaking the game aside, I think it's just a cool mechanic that they should do again.
Something similar, at least.
Yeah. At least some sort of lasting impact.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like the Haster madness thing is probably like the only time we're going to see something like that, but it would be neat to see it again.
Yeah.
Will we? Probably not.
Probably. There'll probably be some stuff like it, just continuing stuff, but nothing like that. Cool.